The Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, have long been celebrated for their valiant efforts in protecting the world from threats both terrestrial and extraterrestrial. However, their actions have not been without controversy. As the line between heroism and vigilantism blurs, questions arise about accountability and responsibility. If the Avengers were to face charges for their actions, a myriad of legal and ethical complexities would unfold. The allegations. If the Avengers were to face charges for their actions, a plethora of allegations would be brought against them. These accusations would include collateral damage incurred during their battles, unauthorized interventions in sovereign affairs, and instances where their actions resulted in widespread destruction and endangered civilian lives. Critics argue that while their intentions may be noble, the Avengers' operations often exceed the boundaries of acceptable conduct and violate both international laws and domestic statutes. Additionally, concerns would be raised about the lack of oversight and accountability for their actions, highlighting the need for scrutiny of their activities. Legal implications. The legal implications of charging the Avengers for their actions would be complex and far-reaching. Given the international nature of many of their missions, they could potentially face charges under various national and international laws, including those related to warfare, human rights, and property damage. Additionally, their status as a quasi-governmental entity raises questions about sovereign immunity and jurisdiction. Prosecuting them would require navigating diplomatic channels and potentially challenging legal precedents, as the concept of holding superpowered individuals accountable for their actions is unprecedented. The case would likely spark debates about the role of enhanced individuals in society and the extent to which they should be subject to legal constraints. Defense strategies. If the Avengers were charged for their actions, their defense strategies would likely revolve around justifying their actions as necessary to protect the greater good. They might argue that their interventions were essential to prevent catastrophic events or to neutralize imminent threats posed by supervillains or hostile forces. Furthermore, they could emphasize the lack of feasible alternatives in high-stakes situations, asserting that their actions were the only viable means of averting disaster. Additionally, they might highlight their track record of saving lives and preserving peace, framing their actions as acts of heroism rather than criminal conduct. However, they would also need to address instances where their actions resulted in unintended harm or collateral damage, potentially acknowledging mistakes and expressing remorse, while still asserting that their overall impact has been positive for humanity. Public opinion. Public opinion regarding the charges against the Avengers would likely be divided. While many people view the Avengers as heroic figures who selflessly protect the world from existential threats, others would question their unchecked power and the collateral damage caused by their actions. Some may argue that the Avengers operate above the law, acting as judge, jury, and executioner, without being held accountable for their actions. However, there would also be a significant contingent of supporters who believe that the Avengers' actions are justified given the magnitude of the threats they face. The public debate would likely intensify as details of their alleged crimes are scrutinized, with opinions influenced by factors such as media coverage, political affiliations, and personal beliefs about the role of superheroes in society. The role of evidence. In a legal case against the Avengers, the role of evidence would be crucial in determining the outcome. Prosecutors would need to gather concrete evidence to support their allegations of wrongdoing, such as eyewitness testimonies, surveillance footage, and forensic analyses of the aftermath of their battles. However, given the extraordinary nature of the Avengers' activities and the often chaotic circumstances in which they operate, obtaining clear-cut evidence might prove challenging. The defense could argue that traditional legal standards may not fully apply to beings with superhuman abilities, highlighting the unique challenges they face in combating otherworldly threats. Additionally, the Avengers' track record of saving the world and thwarting catastrophic events could sway perceptions of the evidence presented, with supporters arguing that their overall contributions outweigh any potential transgressions. Ultimately, the admissibility and interpretation of evidence would be central to the legal proceedings, shaping public perception and influencing the final verdict. Consequences and penalties. If the Avengers were to face charges for their actions, the consequences and penalties would be significant. Given the scope of their activities and the potential harm caused during their battles, the legal system would likely seek to impose severe penalties. Depending on the nature and severity of the alleged crimes, the Avengers could face a range of punishments, including imprisonment, hefty fines, or mandated community service. Additionally, there might be calls for oversight and regulation of their activities to prevent future incidents and ensure accountability. However, supporters of the Avengers would argue that their heroic deeds far outweigh any potential missteps, advocating for leniency or alternative forms of punishment that recognize their contributions to society. Ultimately, the sentencing and punishment would reflect a delicate balance between accountability for their actions and acknowledgement of their role as defenders of humanity. Social ramifications and self-reflection. If the Avengers were to face charges for their actions, the societal impact would be profound, leading to a period of introspection and self-reflection for both the team and the public. The revelation of alleged crimes committed by Earth's mightiest heroes would shake the foundation of trust and admiration that the public holds for them. Citizens would grapple with the moral complexities of heroism and the accountability of those tasked with protecting them. Moreover, the Avengers themselves would undergo a period of intense scrutiny and soul-searching, questioning their motivations and the consequences of their actions. This societal introspection could ultimately lead to a reevaluation of the role of superheroes in society and the need for greater transparency and oversight in their operations. The fight for redemption. If the Avengers were indeed charged for their alleged crimes, they would find themselves in a fight for redemption unlike any they have faced before. This battle wouldn't be fought with fists and superpowers, but with humility, accountability, and a genuine desire to make amends. Each member of the team would need to confront their past actions, take responsibility for any harm caused, and actively work towards restitution and reconciliation. This journey towards redemption would require immense courage and perseverance as they strive to regain the trust and respect of the public they once served. It would be a challenging path, fraught with obstacles and setbacks, but one that holds the potential for true growth and transformation, both individually and as a team. Outpouring of public reaction. If the Avengers were charged for their alleged crimes, the public outcry would likely be intense and far-reaching. As revered heroes, their actions have always been scrutinized and celebrated on a global scale. Therefore, any allegations of wrongdoing would shock and disappoint countless individuals who once looked up to them as symbols of hope and justice. That's all for today's video. If you found this video thought-provoking and engaging, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest updates. Don't forget to smash that like button if you want to see more content like this in the future.